Hey everyone, this is Seth with Baldwin Concepts, and today I'm going to be showing you how to basically use this Blade Builder's board, soundboard, in any custom saber. There's a lot of posts, kind of like tutorials, but they're not very, I mean, they're helpful, but none of them have videos attached explaining exactly how to do everything, and I think some people, for me, it was very unclear and I was confused, so I figured I'd make this video to help more people kind of understand exactly how to do it. So first thing you need to do is get a saber from Walmart, Target, Kmart, wherever, just a Blade Builder's saber. It doesn't matter which one, they all sound the same. And once you have that, you need to take it apart. So start at the back, and there's going to be a ring. You need to get that off, and then put a screwdriver through the back and just keep prying until this pops open. Mine was very hard to get open, so just be prepared. But once you get it open, you're going to have your speaker here, button here, and soundboard here. Now you can just clip those wires and pull everything out, or keep everything intact. You will have to clip these two here. After you have that out, just throw this away or keep it or do whatever you want with it. And now you have your board, and you'll have your switch, and you'll have a speaker. I'm choosing to reuse my speaker. This is a prototype lightsaber that I've been working on a design. You can also keep your switch. I'm going to keep it just because it's a good test switch for anything. I like to salvage parts. So here's your board. I'm going to go over the board with you. Try not to pay attention to these wires right here. I'm going to explain that later on in the video. But so first thing first is you have, let me zoom in here. Okay, so you get your board out. There's going to be wires here. This is your board positive. You can see the little plus sign, and this is your board negative right here. You can see the minus sign. So you're going to have wires going to those. I just took my soldering iron and desoldered them, took them out. Because the wire that they use on these boards is terrible. It's like the lowest grade wire that you could ever use. So I would highly suggest removing all of it and putting your own wire in there. So you have your board positive, board negative, and right here you have your speaker positive, speaker negative, and next to those you have your switch positive and switch negative right here. And we'll go to the other side of the board. You have your LED positive right here, and this is your LED negative. Now, the reason that I have a wire running to the LED negative is part of the process to make this build work. So in order to power your LEDs, you're going to need to pick up a transistor, a PNP transistor. I got mine at Radio Shack. This is exactly what you need, and there's the part number in case you want to use that. But so this is what you need, and what I did is I figured out how I was going to run my wires, and on the back of the board I used some Scotch double-sided tape, and I just taped the transistor to the back. See if I can zoom in, focus. Tape it to the back, and so I'll go over this part. So right here you have your base pin, and your base pin will be soldered to your LED negative. This is important. So base pin gets soldered to the LED negative. And trying to get this thing to focus. Okay, so and next to your base pin you have your collector pin. This will be ran to your LED positive, and your emitter pin right here will be ran to your battery and recharge port. So that is the basic setup for this. So you have your base pin that gets ran to your LED negative, your collector pin, this is going to your LED positive, and your emitter pin. This is going to the recharge port or battery and battery. And so on this board down here you have the clash sensor and everything. So that's the transistor setup. And you can configure it any way you want. This is just, I did this because this works for my build. So the next thing that I will go over is the switch. Now, my switch is already in my build. It's a 16 millimeter anti-vandal switch with a blue LED. Now I'm going to go over the pins and how to wire them to work with this. So I didn't feel like taking it out, so I'm going to use my phone. Oops. So this is the switch that I have. It's a shallow 16 millimeter, and I'm going to show you how to wire it. So on the back of your switch, you'll see two posts that are marked. This is going to be marked negative, and this is going to be marked positive. These two posts are not marked because it doesn't matter how you wire them to the board. Well, that's not why they're not marked, but in this case, that's why that's important. So your switch negative is going to be going to your LED negative, and your switch positive is going to be going to your switch or your LED positive. Now, these two wires, these two posts, will be going to the posts on the board. This switch positive and switch negative. So you have your speakers right here, and then you have your two switch positive, switch negative. That's where these two will be wired in order for the switch to work. So, so LED positive, LED negative, and the switch positive or switch negative, it doesn't matter on those. And that's the switch. So the next thing is the recharge port. I'm using a Switchcraft recharge port. Now it's already in my build, but I have an extra one that I will show you. So the way that your recharge port is going to work with this build is basically you're going to run the, let me zoom out. Okay, so so this very far left side pin right here, that's going to be run down to the board and to your LED negative. So this goes to the board negative. So it's going to go to this right here, the negative on your board. And this bottom pin right here, this thing is having a hard time focusing. The bottom pin is going to your negative on your battery. And try to get this focused. The pin on the other side, on the right side, is going to be going to the battery positive and also the board positive. So I'm sorry, this pin is going to be ran to your battery positive, and from there it's going to split to your board positive and this emitter pin on the transistor. So if that makes sense, I'm gonna solder everything up and go over it again for reassurance that you fully understand of how everything's going to work. But so over here, left side, this is going to your LED negative and the negative on the board. This bottom one is going to the negative on your battery, and this right side, this right pin, is going to be going to the positive of your battery and the positive of your board, and also this emitter pin on your transistor. So it's easier if you color code everything. That's what I do. It makes it easy to wire. And so that's kind of everything that you need. And I'm going to go over each part again once everything's wired up so you can see exactly how I've done it. And so I'm going to probably just do it, and I'll fast forward through all this so you don't have to watch. Alright, so now that I got everything soldered to the board and wired up, I'm just going to show you that it is working. Take the kill plug out. I kind of just have these hanging out. So it is working. Put that back in, and as you can see, no power going to the board. Now let's take this apart. Take this tube off. Okay. So what we have, zoom in. So right here, these are just disconnects for my battery. So you have your negative of your recharge port going to the negative of your battery right here. That's what this black wire is. And right here, this yellow wire is the positive of my battery, and this is going to the positive of the board. So as you can see right there, that's my positive of my board, and the positive of the battery is going to that, and then it splits off right here at Y's off. You can see that yellow wire, and that's going to my recharge port. So that's how that works. And now that we got those two out of the way, I'm just going to disconnect these. Kind of get them out of the way. So put that aside. Right here I have my speaker positive, speaker negative. That's real simple. It's just going in speaker. And this orange and black wire, this is going to the non-polarized posts on my switch. So both this orange and gray wire are going to the non-polarized posts on my switch. And trying to get it to focus. So those go into the switch. This blue wire right here and this gray wire are going to the board negative. This blue wire is my LED negative, and this gray wire is my negative on my switch. Those two get soldered together, and those both go to the board negative. Now if we flip it around, what I did was run my one of the posts on the recharge port on the left side that I was telling you goes to the board negative. That's what this is. It runs up through and is soldered to the board negative. It runs up through this little hole, and that meets these two wires, my LED negative and switch negative, so they all collect on the board negative and get soldered there. And so for the recharge port on the transistor, I basically just routed the emitter pin up and around, and that is soldered to the board positive. So it goes up and around and gets soldered to the board positive right here, and that meets the battery positive and also the positive for the recharge port. So those all collect at the board positive, and the LED positive and your switch positive will connect. So as you can see, like I said before, this collector pin is the LED positive. So in order for your switch to work, you have to wire your switch positive to your LED positive. So I wired them together right here. So this is my LED positive and my switch positive, and it just goes straight to that transistor. And that's essentially all the wiring that you need to do. I will show you another way that you can wire this to give you a different effect. It will dim your LEDs substantially, but if you don't like the little flash up thing on the when you start it up, like, here, I'll connect this and show you real quick. So that little flash right there, the ramp up, if you don't like that, you can run a wire from the, I'll do it real quick, so I'll show you first actually. So this transistor, you have the base pin connected to the LED negative. So you can actually drive the LEDs off of the speaker wiring. So if you want, you can solder a wire going from this LED negative right here, it's coming off the transistor, to the speaker negative, that's the switch negative, speaker negative right there. And I'll just do that real quick. Okay, so that's done, and I will show you exactly what that does. So it gives you this flicker effect, but as you can see how dim the LED becomes. Let's see if you can see it on my switch better. So you can see the flicker, but it does dim your LED substantially, but you don't have that that little ramp up 3 flashing thing. You just have this kind of glow. So if you like that and you don't mind your LEDs being dimmer, you could always do that, but I personally cannot stand my LEDs being that dim, so I'm going to go ahead and remove that. Okay, so that's pretty much it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll try to answer them as best as I can. So that is pretty much it, and this is a prototype of, it's a PVC prototype of a saber that I designed. It's called Insidious, and I was kind of going for like a stormtrooper theme, something that's just very symmetrical and something that can be mass produced, obviously. So it's almost finished. But yeah, that's the basic wiring of the Blade Builders board, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask, and thanks for watching.